the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, they've issued a statement on what happened on Wednesday, Black Wednesday, and they say that this particular incident soon ginger us on and charge us up to fight on as far as the campaign against illegal mining or Galamsey is concerned. For them, we should change the name for illegal mining or irresponsible mining to environmental crime carried out by environmental criminals, as stated in their statement. Doc, good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Well, thank you very much. I'm not too sure about anything being good.
I know. I've seen a video of you at that particular event where it was supposed to. How did you receive the news?
It was a bad one, because so we were expecting, because some of us, myself, the Honorable Minister for Lands, we had gone the night before because there was a meeting with the Anglo Gold Ashanti mine that we did before. And so we're expecting the other ministers to join for the event to start at 9 o'clock. And so there was a delay in their coming in, and so we had gone to sit at the event. And, to tell you, at least the first time I'm saying this, I was seated next to the MD of Anglo Gold Ashanti. So because of the fact that on Wednesdays, Anglo Gold Ashanti also has a bullion chopper that comes in. So when there was a bit of commotion that had happened between when I'm sure the ministers had got an inkling, so when the villagers had seen the chopper go down, they then had sent the earlier videos and pictures of the crash. When we got there, they sent them to the security team of Anglo Gold Ashanti. That was sent to the minister and to the MD, and I got to see it. And so it was so difficult sitting there and trying to hold yourself together, knowing all the things that you know. And this was before I went to speak, So it was a difficult one. And, for the Minister for Lands and the Ashanti Regional Minister to have held their own, to be being able to go through all of that, it was really a difficult one. And for me, I've moved from the pain, the shock, the state of denial into anger. I'm extremely angry. I am really angry at myself. I'm angry at all of us as a country, that this is a group of people that had left their families, to come and deal with an issue that is confronting all of us, killing all of us. And we sit, and we have normalized that. We are sitting in this country, the state of emergency that should be declared has not been declared. We are still, as we speak, there's some Chinese that were arrested, they've still been taken to immigration to be deported. We have these criminals, environmental criminals, parading themselves. The politicians who are still, part of all of this. The blood of the eight are on the heads of every politician, every politically exposed person, every campaign who is behind all of this. The blood of this eight and all the people who have died out of Galamsey are on their heads. And for me, as a country, it would be a shame if we don't use it as a point of inflection to say enough is enough, and we need to deal with this scourge that is eating all of us up. It's difficult. It's difficult.
I know, because we've had this conversation over and over again, and it doesn't seem.
You would have thought that if anybody had listened to us, when the whole of Ghana rallied, when CTFM dedicated a whole day, looking at all of this, if anybody had just listened and have done what we ought to have done, this would not be happening. It's such a crime shame, for all of us. It's for us as a country, this is not how we should be living our lives. This is not how we should be governing ourselves and letting people lose their lives at their primes like this. It's not right. And I'm just hoping that all of this thing that we do something should change out of this. It should not be business as usual. That's not it. We cannot continue again like this. It cannot be.
Doc, do you think it's about time that we declare a full state of emergency, or we get the soldiers to go all out just to ensure that we end this practice?
I think that we've gone beyond that time. You see, the president himself said that Galamsey has become a national emergency. And so I don't know, Mr. President. I don't know what is stopping you, because as Dr. Tomedu said, we need to ensure that, as we're doing all of those things that we're calling responsible cooperative mining, blue water guards and all of that, the people are out there still causing the damage, still causing the destruction. So we definitely need, I can't tell you, into two. So what we need to do is that we need to bring a halt to this. It's the reason why for us and the media coalition, we believe that this is the time to stop. The coalition is just divided about whether we should change our name, from the media coalition against Galamsey to the media coalition against environmental crime. So that's why we are asking all of us to do that. Let's call this what it is. It is crime being committed. I think it's either the minister or the IGP call it terrorism. We have said that we are at war. So we need to declare state of emergency targeted. We don't need to do it in places where there's none of this thing happening, but targeted. The times where we have Galamsey happening, by the sides of the road, the forest reserves that these criminals are still in, the water bodies that they are in, these criminals who we can say, if you look at all of the money, the people importing all these excavators into town, the people who are importing cyanide into our country, bringing mercury, bringing people from Burkina to come into these places, we can trace them and we need to deal with them. It is the reason why all of those people, we need to be asking, what has happened to, the investigation on the NDC, two executives? What has happened to the issues around Akota mining? Why have we not seen that case in court? What is happening to the Professor Frimpong thing? There's too much talk and there's very little action taking place. That is why we will lose 8 people in a matter of minutes. All of them will go down because they're going to do this. So we've gotten to the point where we need to stare ourselves in the face. And I think that the call that you just made, we need to call on all citizens of this country. We all need to rally together, mass action, support of this thing to say this has to stop. And I am praying. His Excellency the President, they've taken 2 of your ministers. They've taken, stalwarts of your party, the Air Force. They've taken people out of their prime. This cannot continue like this. It cannot continue like this. We had Major Muhammad go away and we allowed it to pass. Several people have died. We cannot allow this to happen. This crisis, if we are people that are, we really want to develop, then we have to ensure that this crisis does not pass us by. Otherwise, all of us will be mentioned. So that something has to change. And so I'm calling on civil society. I am calling on the churches. I am calling on, the traditional leaders, the religious leaders, who are really also have this country at heart. As we continue to mourn, we should galvanize our tears, we should galvanize our pain into saying that never will this happen. I can tell you for a fact that if there's only one, if I was supposed to mention one politician that abhorred Galamsey, to the extreme, the Minister of Defense will definitely be one of them. And so in moving to this particular thing, I'm sure it was all of that passion that was in him to say, let's go fix it. Then we allow this thing to fix him and we won't fix it. What kind of people would we be? What kind of people would we be? So this time I am appealing to the emotions of all of us Ghanaians. I am appealing to all of us that we should not just weep for this AIDS and just let it pass. We should channel that into some positive action. This should be a point of inflection, that when they look at it, it should be a point of inflection. And say, those people who we've been treating as scapegoats, we should not allow those 9 Chinese people who have been arrested yesterday to be deported. We should make sure that they pay, fully the fine that is stipulated under Act 995 and the full sentence that should be applied to those 2 women and 7 Chinese men who have been arrested. We need to send a signal out that Ghana is now closed for this criminal business. We're not going to allow that to happen. We're not going to allow that to happen. All of those people within the NDC, politically exposed people who are part of this, I'm saying it again to you, the blood of this age is on your head. And you better have a change of heart and recant from this thing and step out of it. And all of those are people who are also in the pit. Enough is enough. Let's try and make sure that we get to responsible mining that does not destroy our environment, kill our people, and all of us. This is the shameful thing that we do. Ghana has become the butt of the joke of everything. This is what has caused 8 people to die. Fighting something that we should be able to fight and fight well. So I am praying that His Excellency the President, that pain that I know you are going through currently as we speak, convert that pain to say that enough is enough. Not a single soul again should die wanting to fight this.
Doug, finally, before I let you go, the last time I spoke to you, I told you about suggestions that the best way we can deal with this matter is to shoot to kill. But then you opposed it and said that it's to the extreme. With this development, you still stand by a position that is to the extreme, or we should consider it?
You see, again, too long, for me, do not make a right. In the process of going to shoot and kill, if you are not too careful, you might catch other people who might not be, be in it. And so, what I would urge again is the solution that I have professed. What we need to do is to look for some non-lethal force. We need to look for some non-lethal force. And when I say non-lethal force, again, my mind tells me that can we get some bullets maybe rubber bullets that will penetrate any PPE that they wear when we do, and that rubber bullet on impact would explode and would release a dye, an indelible dye that would color you, and then in that indelible dye would also be an itching powder. That should be done. But we also should equip the Forestry Commission, that with enough firepower that when they meet these people and they attempt, like they happened recently, they need to be able to return fire, more advanced and more powerful fire for anybody they see and who will attempt to their life. But I would not subscribe to, a shoot to kill. I would say that we need to be more forceful. We need to declare a state of emergency, outlaw anybody going into any of these forest reserves, going into these water bodies. Anybody who is seen, is dealt with. And what we should be asking for is any DC, any police commander, any national security chief in these communities that Galamsey is taking place, they should be dismissed for incompetence, and they should be investigated if they are accomplices. They should be arrested and they should be prosecuted. People like the NDC constituency chairperson for Dunkwa, for example, who will lead his people to oppose lawful forces that have gone to go and do that is facilitating which is the law says that it's also criminal. All of those people should be arrested. All the names that we have been mentioned, Mr. President, this is the time to go all out. Everybody that has been named in the Professor Pinto report, all of them, we need to line all of them up and then, under a state of emergency, give special powers to the courts, like was done in the UK, where, once these things happen, immediately you are taken to court within 24 hours. When the riots happened, UK, they were prosecuting people and jailing people. We can do that and send that signal to people. Those who are in Obuasi, who people know openly as Galamseyers, we start dealing with them more forcefully than we have done. And so I would not subscribe to the shoot to kill, but I would say that we now need to match, their evil power, their criminal power with more forceful power.
Doug, I'll say a big thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Dr. Kenneth Ashigbey is the convener of the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, or illegal mining, as you want to call it. You're still listening to